All right, everybody. Today I've got a new guest on the show. This is probably one of the more interesting people that I've come across in my recent expeditions into the internet. This person has been around the Twitch politics scene for a very long time. Hey, how you doing, Dobro? They've been around for a very long time in a lot of different ways. Currently, they host the Political Shit Show Discord server, where there's a lot of very interesting conversations, contentious conversations that go on there. Again, this person has been around for a very long time, has been influential in a number of important Twitch streamers' careers over the years. Today they're here with us. They're going to discuss a little bit more about who they are, what they do, and the things that they've seen in this industry over the time that they've been a part of it. Let me go ahead and get them in here real quick. All right. Queen Alexa, do I have you back?
Yeah, hello.
Fantastic. How are you doing today?
I'm doing alright, how about you?
I'm doing very well. I guess we'll just get straight into the meat and potatoes of it. Would you like to introduce yourself a little bit to the audience today?
Sure, yeah. For the people who don't know, I'm Queen Alexa. I run the Political Shit Show. I generally moderate debates. I debate sometimes. You probably know me through some form of controversy or some really edgy joke that I made where someone got really offended. So, yeah, that's probably about the extent of it. And then you'll learn more as questions are asked.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm not 100% certain or familiar with any of your, quote, edgy humor or any of your other content that you've been on. I mean, I've seen you around in a number of places. I'm sure I'm more familiar with your work by reputation as opposed to directly being able to attribute it to you. And, I mean, that's kind of the reason that I wanted to bring you on a little bit. Could you maybe discuss the Political Shit Show server, what it is, and what you do there? What the purpose is?
Yeah, so for a while I used to be a producer and then moderated discords and stuff, and just did debates and stuff. And I finally decided to do my own show. So what I decided to do was, it's been going now for 6 months ish. I don't know, maybe 7 months around. I decided to start a show, and I figured it would fit the theme of kind of what I already do, is somewhat of a shit show. Mainly
Okay.
politically, orientated and stuff like that. So I named the Political Shit Show. Our first server was one that grew extremely fast, stuff like that, and we found pretty much success. We would do 3 to 4 shows a week, and things like that. I used to still do collaborate with other content creators and stuff like that. We would produce shows. I'll pretty much platform nearly anyone. I have a few exceptions, but I'm generally willing to platform a lot of people, even people I don't really care for, and stuff. And people get kind of upset about that, and that's fine. That's kind of the purpose, is that we want to be edgy, but not go way too overboard. And I've definitely went overboard, which is fine.
I think that that's maybe one of the things that I appreciate the most about you. I mean, you're willing to platform me, and I'm an absolute nobody. But not only that, you seem to appreciate the importance of free speech and letting people say the things that they feel like they need to say, and then debating them back from their points with actual facts and logic, as opposed to letting them go off and being like, you're not allowed to say that here.
Yeah, so we've had conversations like the Great White Replacement Theory, abortion, the JQ, the Holocaust. Um, so yeah, we've definitely towed the line on really controversial topics, and it's led to people really really hating it, because certain people just if you even acknowledge that could be a discussion about this, they just hate you. And it's really funny. And prior to starting the show, I was already doing things that was already pissing people off. So by the time the show was made, I had already made plenty of enemies. So that's why it was original. That's pretty much why it's called the Political Shit Show, because I knew me creating such a space was going to cause chaos.
Sure.
And that's the general intention for it. and still is. And we're still going. We're still doing pretty much weekly shows. And you know, all our shows have been pretty much bangers, outside of a few, but most of them have been exponentially well, and have either been very explosive, non-educational, unless your education is like smashing your head against the wall going at like 100 miles an hour. But you know, that's not what I'm here for. Right? I'm here to like cause like I want to like start a house fire and then go outside the house and start eating popcorn.
The way that I refer to it is
internet.
sometimes the only way to learn how not to crash your car is to hit that wall at 100 miles an hour and learn you're not supposed to do it that way anymore.
Yeah. See, what we do though is we get a pile-on of cars and just send them all there.
Again, I can appreciate that. So I want to clarify a little bit because this is a little bit confusing because I do know you don't have your own Twitch presence. You don't exactly have a huge social media presence out there, but we do have a show. So where does this show broadcast? Where can people see your show?
So yeah, I don't stream on Twitch. I also have no form of social media outside of Discord. I've pretty much always been this way. So how it works is I create content for other content creators, meaning I bring other people on to kind of consume the content that I put in front of them. And it's just my label is on it. So when we bring people on, such as like Chud Logic and Stardust and Destiny and so on and so forth, it's, you know, they come on here to debate on the Political Shit Show because they know this is content that's going to fit some form of like entertainment. It's like entertainment for others to consume. It's also entertaining for me because like I enjoy it. Like I enjoy sitting here and listening to people scream at each other and yell at each other. It's entertaining to me, and it seems to be entertaining to other people, and it just seems to work.
Okay, so you really still kind of work as an agent, more coordinating different content creators, different streamers, political entities to kind of come together, and you provide a place for them to make their own content by like giving them not only the platform but the subjects and putting them all in one place together, introducing them to each other.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fantastic. So you're like social media for like big time political streamers. This is very interesting.
Not always big. Like I don't necessarily care about the numbers. I only really care about like how like I like platforming new people. Like
okay.
I like seeing new faces. It's always interesting. I love a lot of the people who've been on here for a while. Like I love talking to Chud and Stardust and Revolt Rise and Spectre and all these like good people who I became friends with. But like I also have enjoyed a lot of the newer people who have came on this platform. You know, like I think, you know, and that's one reason like Prime was so successful is that like it was a place for like new people. I also want to be like that as well, as I want to allow not just big names but all names to come through.
Right, and that's actually a very good point. I mean, shoot, I'm here, my numbers aren't the greatest yet, but are you kind of implying that if people want to get involved in this sort of scene, are interested in being political Twitch streamers, think that they have something to say, that maybe the Political Shit Show is a good avenue for people to go and get a little bit more involved with this?
I think since there already isn't a lot of like open debate forums that you can get on too easily, I would say it definitely doesn't hurt you. Like, because right now, like, a place that does active, like, weekly content that, like, allows newer faces to arrive on a consistent basis is pretty much me and Prime only. Like, it just doesn't seem to... Like, it used to be that way, but it seems like that's about your only option. So I think if, like, especially if you're just starting off, yeah, I mean, I would say, you know, and I'm going to be biased here, but yeah, I would come on my show.
Well, I will extend the invitation then again. I have the link to Queen Alexa's Discord in my Discord. I will get you a link here in our Twitch chat as quickly as I possibly can, but I'm having an issue with my chat on my end. But if you can't get that, grab a code out of the Discord and grab the link there and go meet Queen Alexa and the group and go get involved in some conversations there. Gee Willikers, we could put a little roadmap in here if we wanted to explain to other people like what the process there is, but I think that it's more fun when they figure it out on their own when they get there. Don't you agree?
Um, yeah, it's kind of like the political shit show is not for everyone. Like, and I understand that 'cause it's like it's a space that's like, it's not called the political safe zone, and like it like for some people they get pretty offended, and that's just how it is. Like it's a space that's made to like we push like people push you on what you believe. Like if you say something dumb, expect to get called some things, and that's just how it is. Like it's not a safe, cozy place. It's you're gonna get your shit ran in. You're gonna get pushed on your beliefs, and like so if you're a snowflake virtually, you're not gonna last.
Sure. And I think that really any politics discord kind of works that way also. I mean, I've been on I don't know how many different political conversation locations around the internet, and I feel like the good ones are not afraid to have controversial opinions. The not so entertaining ones or good ones or interesting ones, everybody kind of feels the same way in the conversations and nothing gets accomplished.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that we have like the most productive conversations a lot because it seems like a lot of conversations we go like they end in semantics and stuff, which that's kind of like the plague of a lot of debates in this space is they get semantical and they just seem to like really just veer off. But I mean, yeah, we've had some really funny ones, and some interesting people. We had someone a few days ago came in and said they were married to a demigod. Um,
Oh, interesting.
yeah,
Very interesting. And they debated this, I'm assuming, with someone about
um,
something there for a little
they
while.
they were like, I'm married to a demigod, and and men can't rape, and really wild shit virtually.
Gadzooks.
Yeah.
Gadzooks. I guess where I was going before was that any one of these political servers are only quite as good as their moderation team and how much the moderation team allows people to say and where they, I don't want to say stop things from continuing, but when there's an issue, the moderation team has to do what they're supposed to do. Are you the only moderator on the political shit show? Do you have a team of people that work with you? How do you handle
Yeah,
that?
I'm team people. It's me, Mr. Braindead, Officer Wolf, May May, Viv, Deke Starkiller, and we are the moderation team. And Lucy.
Gadzooks. So you guys have a relatively big team over there. Is there like a clean delineation between your guys' roles, or do you kind of all just do it all and like watch each other's backs and
Yeah, yeah. It's virtually like like I'm the owner, so of course, like anything if I say, well, like pretty much is what. But like I have a team of people who I trust to, make decisions, and they've not, they haven't let me down. So they've been very straightforward and understand, what the vision for the Discord is and what we're doing.
Okay, very good. How long has your team been with you? Like, how often do we add new people, or have you guys all been a cohesive unit since the beginning?
So, um, so, so Pollution Show 2.0, these people are all new outside of Officer Wolf, who is my producer, Viv and May May, because those three originally come from my original Political Shit Show server, which does no longer exist. We can get to that later. And so the newer people to this one are Deke Starkiller, Lucy, and Mr. Braindead. They're the new additions to the moderation team and stuff like that.
Okay, very interesting. I didn't know how much you wanted to talk about Political Shit Show 1 or what had happened or why that came to a conclusion,
Yeah,
so I didn't want to probe too much into it, but if you'd like to explain a little bit about what Political Shit Show 1 was, what happened at the end, and how we decided to get to 2, I'd be extremely interested.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no, I'm. So the original Political Shit Show was one that I can only describe as catching lightning in a bottle. And so when I created this, I had came in with being a pretty well-connected person and someone who was pretty well-respected kind of behind the scenes. So I had a lot of content creators who were willing to help me as soon as I started. I had like Chud Logic added my server at everyone, Rob Noor, Counterpoints, Tiberius, all sorts of content, Cream Janie, all sorts of people were like actively helping me build a server. So within only a few weeks of the server existing, we had over 400 members. We had like 5 different generals. They would be filled with people. We were doing 2 or 3 open panels a week, plus scheduled panels. I had teamed up with Spectre, who was another content creator, and me and him did a weekly show every Sunday. It was it was a wild place. It was pretty insane, and we were pumping out content more than anyone else was by a very large amount, and it was great. And this is where we get to the fun part. This is what probably most people know right now. So around 5 or 6 months ago, an individual who was in my server had accused me of grooming them, which is a pretty serious. It's not like it's just grooming. It's a serious.
Yeah,
claim.
holy Hannah! Like, this is one of the most serious accusations you can make.
Yeah, it's a serious one. And it had caught fire, like wildfire.
Yeah, I can imagine so.
And it was something when I was like a discourse within Twitch politics for like a week and a half.
Oh my!
And it just didn't go well for me. And a lot had happened. And of course, I didn't groom anyone. I'll make that very clear. No one was groomed.
Thank you for clarifying. I was going to have to ask.
Nobody was groomed.
I don't know anything about this situation except what you're telling me.
Right, nobody was groomed. There were just a lot of problems, from like some behind the scenes stuff to like just general public eye of things. Things just weren't going very well. And what ended up happening was I had to step away. I had to step away for a small amount of time due to things in my personal life and some things online were both just not really doing well for me. So I needed to step away for a stint of time. So I gave ownership to a friend of mine called Revolt Rise. Me and him are still friends, by the way. So I'll context this. Even when you find out what happens, me and Revolt Rise are still good friends.
Okay.
I gave ownership to Revolt Rise. I stepped away for a short amount of time and came back. But Revolt still had ownership of the server. When I came back, I had decided I want to do an actual shit show. Not a show, the shit show. So me and a guy called Mad Lad decided to go and get every single person that you could possibly imagine and stick them on one show. And the topic would be about platforming. So we got everyone from Brittany Politically Provoked, Prime Kais, Hansa Vakir, Mr. Girl, pretty much almost every content creator you can imagine, and stuck them on the same panel. We had somewhere around like 25 to 30 people on that show.
That sounds like a shit show.
Yeah, around the same time.
God damn, that's incredible.
And we had Doobie and Zonia and all sorts of people. And it collided. It went towards the very end, when we were talking, towards the end when we were still talking, Doobie had started talking about my accusations. And that had sparked another argument about me. And Stardust was taking my side, some other people were taking my side, and other people were taking Doobie's side. So it created more drama.
Sure,
and created tension and stuff like that. And Revolt had became upset with me. And Revolt was upset about the show entirely. And there were several reasons why. And it's just it was a shit show entirely. And what Revolt had done was he gave ownership to Doobie, and then Doobie had deleted the original Political Shit Show. It wasn't deleted by Discord, it was deleted by Doobie.
Interesting. And what time about was this? How long ago are we talking?
3 months, 4 months, 3 or 4 months ago.
Interesting.
So after the server was deleted, what would happen would be kind of what seemed to be called like the judgment day or kind of night of Queen Alexa. And we congregated into another Discord of a woman named Zonia, she's a great person. Everybody should go follow Zonia. She's awesome. And we went over my whole entire thing once more of the grooming allegations. And this would be the pretty much end of the road as far as this would go. I would make a new Discord the next day and kind of trucked on. Now, we fast forward, the Discord starts to grow. We start doing shows, quite like not as big, but we start getting there and stuff like that. But what started to happen was certain people were still kind of like, oh, they were sketchy about working with me, stuff like that. Well, luckily, when truth started coming to light, Doobie and other individuals had publicly apologized to me and had decided to set the record straight. Doobie publicly apologized to me on Primes. I've had other content creators come to me and say, hey, we're sorry, stuff like that. And I appreciate that. It helped exponentially, right? And that was kind of the culmination of like, the original server goes down, now we're at this new one. And, we're doing the same thing again. We do a show a week. Our shows are fairly large. And, we're having fun again. So, to, like, make sure this isn't misconstrued, I don't have ill will towards, like, Doobie nor Revolt or any of these people. What happened did happen, but the record was set straight. They, they were honest. They were like, hey, we messed up, stuff like that. And I made mistakes too. So, like, a lot of things, I made mistakes during this whole thing as well. There was a lot of mistakes on a lot of ends here. But, it was a shit show. But we still survived. And I'm still here. It's on a platform. We're still doing shows. So, the tall tale of it is there is a new Discord. It's called Political Shit Show 2.0. We still do weekly shows. And we're not going anywhere.
Very interesting. So it sounds like there's still quite a bit of potential bad blood kind of floating around the community in various places, potentially.
Yeah, there's a guy called Fabian Liberty Scott, who's an ANCAP.
Yes, I've encountered this individual. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he's been doing streams recently calling me a pedophile. And my favorite part is during one of his first streams, the first thing he says, though, is, I don't have proof that they're a pedophile. I just feel like it.
Yeah, baseless accusation without evidence. Gee willikers, aren't those fun?
In my mind, I'm like, okay, I think you're a child murderer. I don't know it, I just feel it. I just feel that you're a child murderer, Fabian.
Gee willikers, gee willikers. Yeah, no, I'm not into these, again, accusations without any any actual founding, any evidence, and when you just say something about someone, but you can't go into, like, explaining the exact details and why you feel this way, your opinion is irrelevant at that point, in my opinion, for all of its relevancy. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. So you're having an issue with Fabian, so is there anyone else that is going around talking shit?
There always will be people who have their dick hard for me and hate me, but right now, specifically in the public face, it is only Fabian. Like I said, many people have apologized, and like I said, Doobie, no problems with him. Revolt, no problems with him. Many of the people who had done shitty things have apologized. So a lot of there's a lot of we've moved on. Be adults about it and, be friendly. But certain people like Fabian Liberty, Andrew Wilson, or Big Papa Fascist, because they're the same people, they still have their dick hard for me. And, they're always going to be this way because they're like clout-chasing demons. And they're weird individuals.
Yeah, I do find that that's very interesting in the political sphere, particularly on Twitch. There is kind of this, like, pull the ladder up behind you mentality that a lot of people seem to have. And again, I think that that's probably one of my favorite things about you, is that you seem to want to build new ladders to bring people up, rather than pull the ladders up that you use to get where you are, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, everyone on this platform in some form is going to, like, chase clout. We all do it. Like, everybody does it at some point. It's like, if someone comes along who is bigger than you, you want them on, or you want to do something with them, because obviously it's going to help you in some way. So we all do it, but some people seem to do it in like it's grimy almost. Like I don't care because I don't do it for money. Like I don't even stream. I don't make no money off of this. I do it for fun. This is fun to me. So like I'm not like I'm kind of content brain, but I'm not like really like money brained on this. It's more like I want to produce content. Like I want to see something go in fire. Like what can I make go in flames?
Right, it seems like you're interested in building up the community as a whole as opposed to trying to focus on a particular channel. And when there's something that looks broken in the community or in the society, it's like your job to point it out and to kind of encourage everybody else to help to fix the problem.
I wouldn't say that. So there's a lot of deep drama that goes into Twitch politics, and a lot of it I don't care about. Because you're not my business, and if I can be the person that like causes the drama or makes drama worse, I will 100% do it. Like I don't like if it's in my own community, that's a little bit different. But if it's like if I'm a outside person and there's some way I can like poke at the broken glass to make it more cracked, I'll 100% do it.
I think that I understand where you're coming from. But can you try to explain that philosophy a little bit more? What's the motivation there?
So when you're like a person on the sidelines, right, or someone who's like somewhat involved, if you don't really have an emotional connection or really care about helping like these people, so like if it's a friend and they're dealing with drama, then I'll help them. But if it's not something I care about or something I know, and I see that there's drama that I can kind of perpetuate for like content or for fun that causes like more drama, then that creates fun for me, because I'm a crazy person who enjoys like starting fires.
Okay, I can understand that. So there's some sort of like fun in the spectacle of seeing it happen, and again,
chaos.
From my perspective, it's inevitable. It's going to happen anyway. So why not make it happen sooner than later? Maybe.
Pretty much, yeah. Like it's like okay, this is going to happen with or without me. Might as well be a part of it.
Sure, and I can understand that perspective on it. And again, I feel very similarly about platforming in general to the way that you do. The reason I have my show is I want to bring everybody on, and I want to give everybody a chance to say whatever it is that they want to say, because inevitably, if it's going to be good, I want them to say it. And if it's going to be bad, we need them to say it so that we can tell them, hey, that's not as good as it should be or could be.
Yeah, that's generally why I'm okay with like I'm okay with a lot of Nazis and stuff being platformed, and this can be a controversial topic, and that's fine. But like I think like these people's rhetoric is so fucking stupid that like we should definitely limit, but like we shouldn't just outright ban them. Like if they're going about just saying that we should murder some marginalized group, then yeah, obviously get rid of them. But like if they're just saying like JQE type shit, then let them come onto this space and let us crush them.
Yeah, let me say it in another way. Whenever someone tells me that X person is a Nazi, I don't necessarily take their word for it, because that word carries a lot of weight for me. I want to talk to them a little bit more, and I want to understand their perspective and their point of view, and try to figure out who they think these bad people are, or what they think that society should be doing differently. Because usually I feel like there's some sort of disconnect somewhere in there. And again, if we don't, like if we're deplatforming all of these people, then they can go and just form their own little community somewhere and trade their bad ideas with each other. But if they're part of the bigger group, maybe we can all attack their ideas and push them maybe into a better direction.
I don't even necessarily care that we can push them in a better direction. I want to make them look as dumb as possible. Because I think like people who are actual Nazis, the only thing that like if they change their mind, even better. But all that should matter is that we make this person look so fucking stupid that then everyone looks at them as a fucking idiot. And like, if we can ridicule all these Nazis to irrelevancy, job well done.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you anymore. Again, I feel like
the Alex Jones effect is a real thing, and trying to deplatform someone doesn't necessarily make them any less popular. It just makes them have more control over the platform that they're on. If that makes any sense.
Pretty much.
Word. So again, we've gone through the Political Shit Show version 1. We've talked a little bit about the show. We've talked a little bit about your role and the role of the other people that help you. But I do want to talk to you a little bit more about who you are specifically. Like, where do you identify on the, like, political spectrum, if such a thing even exists?
It's funny, like, nobody knows this. It's because I go on the shows, right? And I never play. I'm pretty far left. I'm exponentially far left. I'm more like of a mixed market economy, but like more socialist leaning. Socially, I'm extremely far left. I generally think that like almost anything the right says compared to like most social issues is usually dog shit. And they're usually just wrong.
So you identify yourself as being pretty far on the left? That's the way you think of yourself?
I pretty much just say, well, people ask me, I pretty much just say I'm a lib. Like,
valid. I mean, this aligns completely with everything that I know about your own personal identity. And again, I don't want you to dive too much into who you are, but I've tried to refrain from gendering throughout this conversation, because I try to refrain from gendering anybody. But, I mean, again, do you want to tell us a little bit more about who you are personally?
Yeah, sure. I'm 21 years old. I'm trans. I came out when I was 18. As trans. I'm 6'8". That's one thing that seems to shock a lot of people. I'm a wrestler. That's my job. I started training when I was 16 in Tennessee.
Wow.
That's where I live today. My name is Alexa. I'm not saying my dead name. That's not happening. I'm not really good at explain. So, like, anything specific that you would ask, like, about me, and I can explain more.
So, I mean, vaguely, I think that we've outlined all of the most important things about yourself. It sounds like you're an American individual.
Right.
It sounds like you were born biologically male, but you are trans. You mentioned you're a professional wrestler, that you live where you live. And again, so hearing that about you, I would assume that, oh my gosh, this is an extremely left-wing person. And again, because I know the things that I know about you, this lines up that you view yourself as being on the left. I feel like I have met a lot of people that think that you're on the right, though. And I think that maybe that has to do with your views of platforming. I even think I've heard people say all kinds of things about all kinds of people, but I think more people might think that you're on the right and would be surprised to hear that you're on the left.
Because I went on a 6-month Nazi arc, so this is what I do. So Twitch politics is a fucking joke, and I don't want to take this platform seriously. I want to have fun, cause chaos, and have fun and cause chaos. That's what I'm here to do. And I will go on stints of grifting as one ideology. And I thought, fuck it. What crazy can I do? Oh, I know. Let me do a Nazi arc. So for 6 months, I would go on panels. I would talk about the JQ, I would talk about how the Jews ran the banks and and the world
let's refrain from some of that. But yeah, the normal talking points.
Yeah, pretty much. I wasn't going too deep into it. I know where TOS is.
Thank you.
And yeah, I would pretty much get pretty deep on that, and that got me in a lot of trouble, which is fair. That's kind of what's the plan on it. I'll go on the panels and say crazy conspiracy theories. Because, like I said, me just going up there and just keep debating my own beliefs is boring. It doesn't get as much anywhere. It's way funner to go on the panel, and then if everyone's agreeing, take the exact opposite position.
See, I understand where you're coming from. I personally don't do such things because I can't keep that many plates spinning at the same time in the old noggin up here. But I've always wondered if there are other people that were out there that were taking an argument position because it was the more fun point in the argument rather than what they 100% believed.
That's 100% what I do all the time.
Do you think that there are many people in the Twitch online politics sphere that do this? And I definitely don't want to name any names because I'm still trying to make friends at this point. Wink.
Yeah, there's definitely a few. So like when we get more to the people who do like more memes, we've got like Chud Logic, we have Stardust, we have Samantha Banana constantly. Well, she just pisses people off, which is fair. Who else? Kind of Doobie does that a lot. Who else does this quite a bit? I'm gonna think. So a lot of people take this platform so fucking serious. Trying to think who else like really just memes the shit out of things. Hawes will do it for like an extended time and then get really mad and then just start saying really crazy batshit things.
Interesting.
Let's see, who else? I don't know what CTV believes. All I know is she's a conservative and most of them are retarded. So, it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, so I know most of these individuals, and I can't really say that I personally have gotten the impression that these people are, arguing in bad faith or anything like that. But then again, I have a really hard time with not understanding when someone is telling me something seriously or not. I've been told I don't have a very good sense of humor.
I don't think necessarily that memeing means bad faith. Like coming at like bad faith is saying like you've taken someone's argument and then completely misconstrued something and then saying that you heard what they said. That's bad faith. But when you're just generally joking around, I don't inherently think that's bad faith.
Interesting. I don't disagree with you on that. I use the word memeing in a different way than most other people because I don't understand most words. And I'd be interested in talking with you about memes and the kind of things that you think are interesting things to pass around. But again, we'll go into that a little bit later. I'm into this political role play device that you use. So when you lay out your position or decide that you're going to do something, you mentioned that it's like in an arc. So do you go for like a time period where you're like, well, for the next couple of months I'm going to do this? Or do you do it on a per conversation basis where...
I have a per conversation basis.
Okay, so depending on what everyone else is saying, you will kind of find the most beneficial position?
Yeah, during the Russia v. Ukraine situation, I went on Stardust and a few others and go, no, you're all wrong. It's actually what this is Russia and Ukraine aren't fighting. They're working together. And they're working together for a money grab to then work with China. And then once they team up with China, Russia, Ukraine, and China will then become a world power and take out America and Canada. And then we'll team up with Egypt and other Saudi Arabian countries.
I'm going to warn you, you can't talk like that or else the robot eyes are going to get us both.
Exactly. But and anyone who believes that Russia and Ukraine are fighting has been fed Western propaganda by NATO.
Now, I want to make sure that we're steering clear of any misinformation because I hear that's a big deal anymore these days.
Yeah, because I'm like pretexting that this is what I do for a joking way that like it doesn't. So I'm not advertising this as actual information. I'm contexting this as this is a joke.
Of course. I mean, this is all an anthropological study here. We are trying to discover the different layers of meta-irony and the way that our modern political discourse functions. And again, Queen Alexa, this is why I brought you on. You are one of the leading experts in our modern political system today, in my personal opinion, and I really need to know your opinions on these things.
Yeah. I mean, true. I mean, obviously, I know, because I've not been fed propaganda by Western NATO and, all these other countries, and Infrared's really showed me the way. Same with Jackson Hinkle. They are leading mega minds.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with these people. You have to potentially share some of their work with me so that I can review it on my own time.
Infrared the tanky, and then Jackson Hinkle is like a far right extremist tanky, in a way.
Interesting. Interesting. It's that whole horseshoe theory thing where they all start touching again at the bottom.
Yeah, like Infrared is known to like what we call ape out, because he looks like a gorilla, and yeah, he gets pretty mad. I like debating him because he gets really pissed off at me.
Amazing how all of this works. Amazing how all of this works. Gee whiz. Well, without getting too much more into like specific and individuals, I'd like to kind of talk with you about the overall like meta landscape of Twitch politics and how it's changed since you first came into the scene, where you see that it has come to now, and where you think that it might be going in the future.
Cancer. We should burn it in a fire.
Well, let's start at the beginning. Where did it come from? Where did you first encounter Twitch politics? What did you see it as? And then what changes do you think you've seen as you've been around?
So, okay, so like, I used to be just a watcher. So like in 2017 ish, I was more just kind of a spectator of it. I didn't debate. I just kind of watched because my father was hyper political, so politics was always in my life. So I was more just a spectator, and I kind of watched through 2018 and stuff like that. By 2019, I would hop on a few little shows, talk to some people. Didn't do too much. I think I hopped on like a Prime panel here and there. Nothing really. And I was like, this shit's boring, and just kind of dipped out. Around the end of 2019 to the beginning-ish of 2020, I'm like, okay, COVID's kind of coming. I'm kind of like not doing too much, and I'm bored, and so I came back. And I came into some spaces that I was invited to and stuff like that. And I had done a pop-on call with Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro used to do these things, these like pop-on calls, and you could call them and debate them or ask them questions. And I had done that with Ben Shapiro. And I had debated him about transgender issues and made him really mad to the point he hung up on me.
What a win.
And, do what?
Oh, what a win. I love being hung up on by famous angry people.
Yeah, he got pretty mad. And so I kind of was like, man, I'm not too bad at this. So I came into some spaces, and one of the ones that kind of stuck out to me was this one called TRN, The Republican Nation. And I kind of just lingered for a bit, and when COVID really started kicking in, I started becoming more terminally online, because there wasn't just much to do. Like, I was doing what most people are doing. I'm like, hi, online people. So I would grab me some alcohol and, I'm like, let's talk some politics.
As you should.
Right.
You can only talk about politics when you're drunk in my state, by the way. I think that's a state law.
Yeah, right. I think that's what most people do these days. It seems like that's what most of the Congress people do as well.
It's in TOS now on Twitch, too. That's the new update they just put out.
Oh, Jesus. But, yeah, no, and I was like... So I would start hopping on these shows, and people like Sonsol would be there, and Joe Lewis, and Samantha, and all these people, most of which I didn't know. It was fucking crazy. They would be screaming and yelling, and I'm like, man, I love it. And it seemed like Twitch at that time. My view of it was large, but it was like it was like its own little like orb. And it seemed to expand really fast because Vosh started growing really large, and then Destiny was growing larger, and then more and more people were becoming bigger and bigger. We had the largest Twitch politics server, which was called Politics, that has over 60,000 people in it. It was growing at an exponential rate by the beginning of 2020. Right. And with it, the space changed because more people were coming to it. And the more people came to it, the more things would become problematic virtually. we have platforms like Politically Provoked, which were really like Politically Provoked was one time one of the largest shows on Twitch. Politically Provoked is known for its free speech absolutist takes, platforming Nazis, goipers, fascists, communist tankies, stuff like that. And well, when Twitch started to really enforce their TOS, it made things harder for people. So right-wingers started to get deplatformed more and more, and then the Politically Provoked were becoming part of the drama. And it seemed like it went about the politics to the drama of politics within Twitch. So what started to happen was we started to see less debates and more about why does this drama exist. And it was like a fuse that lit. And this fuse, when it was lit, created something that would change Twitch politics forever. And what ended up happening was this then turned into reactionary Andes. This is what we see today. Nothing against them. This is why we see people like Chud Logic, Wicked Supreme, all these, like they don't debate that much. They just react to drama that was created. And that's what really seemed to change. Is we stopped debating and started doing drama. And I think the first the first two really big like drama like things in the space was Prime and Catarana, which was Dylan Burns and Prime Kais, who were like the two of like one of the biggest faces of the platform. And every big name was involved in that. And like then we had people like Mr. Girl come onto the platform. We had Vosh, who gets banned off Twitch. We have all these things. We have Politically Provoked that gets banned off of like YouTube, and multiple of their Discords were taken down. And like it just seems like it was ensuing. It was just a fire. And like Twitch politics seems to become more and more of a cesspool, and it still is. It's becoming worse. And now today, when we fast forward, people leave all the time. Matty Cake's out. Dr. Heem, he'll be here and then he'll leave, then he's here, then gone. Hans of Akir, gone, then back, then gone, then back. Like Spectre, all these people gone back. They just banned Destiny recently. Everyone's talking about that. Destiny's not coming back to Twitch. So it's like...
Yeah, I've heard that.
It's like all these things, and it's not going to get better. Twitch politics will never get better. It is like a disease. And it's a disease that I seem to just like too much, but it's killing me.
So I very much understand your perspective a lot more. You've seen everything go from being... I'm going to call them good faith debates about actual political issues, and people are engaging with the subjects like intently, and now things have become more and more focused on dramas and about the internal politics within Twitch politics. And then we've gotten all of this React stuff, and from your position, gee willikers, most of these dramas are oftentimes manufactured or misconstrued or not even a real thing. And so now the real fun is in exciting the drama, spreading this, and putting a magnifying glass onto it, so to speak, to show it to everybody. And if that's the game we're all playing, then I guess we're going to have to play that game now.
You virtually can't make it in this space without being involved in drama in some sort.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Well, I'm going to have to call you a transphobe by the end of the interview, but I'm going to save it to the end in that case.
Well, no, you gotta follow the crowd. You gotta call me a pedophile.
Oh, excuse me, I forgot. But wait a minute. Yeah. That would speak poorly on me because I've interviewed you. So we'll do this after the interview, and then I'll say that I found things out about you in the interview.
Yeah, you got new information.
See,
but you know how to show the new information. Just remember that. You can't show the new information because it doesn't exist.
Well,
you'll just explain it.
Of course. Well, I wouldn't want to show it anyway, because if any evidence that I would be showing, I'm sure would violate TOS just to show it. So, of course, I can't show it to you or to anyone. Gee willikers, I don't want to teach too many classes here, but again, Queen Alexa, if people do want to, for some reason, take a swim in our pool, what do you think good advice for someone new in this field that is thinking about playing this game is?
Run. Run far away. Run out so far away. It's like a headache. It's like I don't even know why I stay in this space. I think I'm just ill. I think I'm just ill on a mental level. I don't like. There's no advice to give you here. I think when like I don't know. It's why like there hardly is any new people that like come around and stay. Like we see new people, we see new faces every day, but they're here for like a month and gone. This space isn't for everyone. You have to be thick-skinned. You have to have an understanding of things. I don't know. If like these people that come along that like think it's like I'm gonna come onto this platform and this is my advice don't do this. I'm gonna come on this platform and we're gonna have good faith discussions and I'm gonna get along with everyone. You're full of shit. You have no idea what you're talking about. Just don't even come. Like because like no, not everyone's gonna like you. You're gonna get called a lot of things. You're gonna get called a lot of slurs. Like, if you think that you're gonna come on this space and you're gonna change it and you're gonna do it with peace and love, just fuck off. Like, you're not gonna do anything. You're gonna fade away into irrelevancy and no one's gonna talk about you.
You know, I couldn't agree with you more, and that's kind of why that's my goal here. And if this hasn't scared any of you guys away, I'd recommend going and visiting the Political Shit Show so you could get a real taste of what it's really like.
True. I'll call you slurs too.
I love it. I love it. Alexa, I think that I am going to take this opportunity to wrap up our conversation for today. I'd love the opportunity to talk with you more, and I'm sure that I'm going to see you on panels in the future.
For sure.
Again, thank you so much for being with us. Is there anything else that you'd like to tell the audience before we wrap up tonight?
Yeah, no, come join the Political Shit Show. It's a base server. Obviously, me being an overarching Nazi, I obviously have good shows and
Trans Nazi.
Yeah, trans bigoted racist Nazi who totally believes in an ethno state. And if you want me to rant about why I think NFTs are good, then that's kind of how it works. And thanks for having me.
Maybe next time you can help me with my investment portfolio. I'm still trying to make this change over into the big money crypto world. So buy Bitcoin.
Sure. I heard J.K. Rowling helps with that.
Thank you again, Queen Alexa. You've been absolutely fantastic. I will see you again shortly at the Political Shit Show. I hope all of you guys will join us either here on Somebody Online or visit the Political Shit Show and join us in a debate about some interesting and important topics. Thank you guys again. Have a great rest of your night. All right, everybody. Well, I think that was extremely productive. That was Queen Alexa. Like I say, one of the more interesting characters that I've come across here in my recent escapades into the Twitch politics scene. I found an interesting cross-section of people throughout all of my journeys, and there are a number of people that have a lot of different varying views on the meta situation that is Twitch politics as a whole. And again, Queen Alexa is probably one of the people that have seen more things, been a part of more things, and gone more places. Hey, thanks, Queen Alexa. Over the time that they've been involved in this situation. And again, I wanted to bring them on. I wanted them to share some of their perspective with some of you folks out there to better educate yourselves and better educate myself. Because again, I'm just some dummy online. I don't really know anything or any of these people, but it is important that I bring them on so that I can ask them the questions that I need to know a little bit more about. I hope that you guys all enjoyed yourselves. If you did, please consider dropping a follow so that you guys will know next time I go live, so you can catch my next stuff, and maybe I can reach affiliate. I'm so freaking close to that, and then maybe we can all start subscribing after that, and I can do all of the other fun Twitch streamer things that I'm supposed to do. But anywho, folks, thank you again for joining me. I hope you guys had a wonderful rest of your night, and I really look forward to seeing you guys again soon. Take care now.